Holy
Hey everybody, so today we have come to a cemetery in Reading, which is the final resting place of Francis T Crowe, also known as Frank. He was a builder, Canadian born in 1882. He landed here as his final resting place February 26, 1946. So on this day in 1946 was his final day. And interesting guy, special guy, because he was the lead engineer for Shasta Dam. He also built 19 other dams all around the United States, but he worked for PCI, Pacific Constructors company that was contracted by the federal government to build Shasta Dam. A lot of interesting history behind Shasta Dam, and then kind of the paranormal twist to this is we're here, you know, I think it's roughly 70 years ago that he passed away. So we're going to see if he wants to say anything to us today. So I've got a couple different devices. We've got our Ovilus, which we'll play with a little bit, but really the main focus of today is the SB7 Pro. So we've been using the Gary Galko stuff kind of since we started on our journey with paranormal investigating. We use the SB7 a lot. It's simple and easy because, you know, I'm simple-minded, but it's pretty easy to use. But we also have the Pro and we have the SB11. But today we're going to be using the SB7 Pro, which allows you to obviously set the sweep rate, but also the step scan to kind of expand that place in the frequencies where we can communicate. So this is a cool ITC device. We're going to go for it. I also have a voice recorder that I'm going to use on my phone. We've used regular voice recorders. Never had any luck getting EVPs on just a regular voice recorder. So we're going to kind of play with the voice recorder app I downloaded on my phone today too. So, Bill Chappell is the inventor, designer, and genius behind the Ovilus. A lot of people use different versions of the Ovilus, and it's kind of one of those things. It's like some people believe in it, that it's great, some people don't. We've had some pretty good luck with it now that we've kind of got used to how it works and how we go through. I've got the sound turned off on it. That's what we've decided to do, because if we use it in conjunction with anything, it helps. So if we're using a spirit box and we're getting intelligent responses on a spirit box, and then I also have the Ovilus going and a word comes up that might corroborate or disprove some of the information we're getting based on the spirit boxes, that's why I have the voice turned off, so we're not hearing a voice thinking it's coming from the spirit box. So I'm going to turn the Ovilus on, and let's turn on the SB7 Pro. Now this also has like a REM device in it, and you can also set timers and motion activation and stuff like that. But out here, what we're doing to try to communicate with kind of the pioneer of building dams, Frank. You know, he invented some pneumatic things, technology for modern dams that they still use today. So that's pretty interesting. So I'm going to crank the volume up here. We're going to kind of try to tune this in a little bit. Right now I'm going to be scanning at a sweep rate of 210 milliseconds and a step rate of 60. So we'll go from there. Scan. Frank, we're here today. I know this is the day that you passed away in 1946. We're here today because we've been doing a lot of research on Shasta Dam that you built. I wanted to know if you wanted to tell us anything. You know, you were Canadian born and you built dams all over the United States. I think 19 of them in total. If you wanted to tell us anything about that. I also know that your wife is here buried next to you. So Lenny, if you want to say anything, let's have a conversation. I know that after you built Shasta Dam, you retired to this area on a cattle ranch. Did you retire here because you liked it, or was it just convenient? So I thought, we had heard that there was some deaths when Shasta Dam was built. And we thought maybe there were some people still in the concrete. But we found out that that's not true, because that would actually ruin the integrity of the concrete. So you had to go in and retrieve those people. Did you know any of the people that died while building Shasta Dam? Frank, can you tell me how you died? What did you like the most about this area when you were here to build the dam? I know you and your wife had some children. How many children did you have? When I first turned the Ovilus on, I got the word he and trip. Frank, do you want to talk to us? I know you also built the Hoover Dam, which is super famous, a little more famous than Shasta Dam. Frank, I see that you were a Mason. Is that true?
A butterfly came in the frame.
So like anything, you have to kind of tune things in to figure out what's going to work for you based on the area you're at. Is there anybody else here that wants to say something? We're here to listen.
I didn't see any butterflies until you started asking for Frank to come out, so there's a little white butterfly fluttering around right now.
Did you send a butterfly to say hello to us, Frank? You know, it's crazy about the dam that you helped build, that you kind of ran the project. Most of that technology today is still being used. The turbines were updated, obviously, but other than that, everything is still the same. Still functioning today. give me a sign that you're here? Well, let's see, maybe do a little EVP session with the recorder. Okay, so Frank or Lenny or anybody that wants to communicate, you can talk into this phone, it has a recorder. If you want to tell us something, or just the general public, this is your opportunity to come tell us something. What do you think about this final resting place? Is it a good one? Okay, so Frank or... Oh, apparently that was slow motion.
Well, maybe that'll work better.
Lenny or anybody that wants to communicate, you can talk into this phone, it has a recorder. If you want to tell us something, or just the general public, this is your opportunity to come tell us something. What do you think about this final resting place? Is it a good one? You know, part of one of our things that we're also kind of doing on top of looking for the paranormal kind of energy and twist with the dam, there's so many different aspects. You know, we have the chief engineer who built all sorts of dams all over the United States, and he picked Redding to be his retirement and final resting place. You know, kind of a famous engineer, could have gone anywhere to retire. He retired here in the Redding area on a cattle ranch. You know, and then there's something to be said about the kind of the power of flowing water, how that can kind of entice or bring out certain energies. And then the history, then we'll kind of touch on it more in some other videos, but the history just of the dam project itself and all the different people that it brought to what they call the Central Valley area, which is now Shasta Lake, the city of Shasta Lake, around the actual Shasta Lake. You know, they had Summit City and Project City, and it was a boom town, and PCI, the company that was contracted to build it, also donated their own money and time and effort and their construction crews and the material, and the construction crews volunteered their time, and they built a school because all the families were coming with their kids to build this. It was such an undertaking. And then in the midst of all that, kind of towards the end of the project, of course, you have World War II that kicks off in 1941. So a lot of energy. Several of the original kind of what they call dam shacks, the original houses, little cabins they built for those workers to live in, are still being lived in the city of Shasta Lake. So a lot of energy there, and we're kind of just seeing what there is out there as far as paranormal energy, how it all fits together. Okay, so we're wrapping it up for the day here at the cemetery, trying to communicate with Frank on the anniversary of his death so many years ago. Had the Ovilus running the whole time. We were also running the spirit box, the SP7 Pro. Didn't catch anything on here, at least not that I could hear. Now EVPs with the recorder on my phone. We only had 2 words that popped up right when I turned the Ovilus on when we started this. The words he and trip. You could tell it's kind of thinking, the little bubbles are moving, so it's doing something. But it wasn't until we said, all right, we're done, you know, maybe we'll try this another time, maybe when the sun's down. And then I went to pick it up and it says, okay, as the third word. So take that for what you want. Might be stretching a little bit on whether or not it's communication, intelligent communication, but yeah. Well, I really said okay when we said we were wrapping it up. So, all right, we're gonna wrap it up for good this time.